Hello and welcome to the Entrepreneur in You, Antero Tormi and Petrin series on entrepreneurship. I'm your host, Mike Cason, and today we have a very special guest, Martha Layham. Martha is the business department chair at the Diablo Valley College. She's an educator, she's an author, and she's an all-around amazing person, and we're very happy to have her here. Martha, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Mike.
So Martha, let's just delve right into it. Tell me a little bit about your education.
I have a bachelor's degree in political science, a master's degree in global business, a master's degree in integrated marketing communications. In addition, I have done postgraduate work in international economics and marketing, and also done undergraduate studies in dramatic arts.
I love the dramatic arts part. Like you, I'm also a dramatic arts guy. You've done a lot. I know that you traveled the world when you were 19. Tell me a little bit about that experience.
Right. So I was a student studying drama, and I met a fellow student while doing a scene. Well, that scene marked the beginning, a turning point in my life. I got married, and we set off on this remarkable adventure that spanned across borders and cultures. From traveling, I learned some life lessons. And one of the life lessons that I learned along the way, because I was a college dropout, is that you should play the long game. The long game is take the necessary steps today to set yourself up for future success. So think about where you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And this very often requires making sacrifices for long-term gains instead of focusing just on short-term wins.
So you said that you were a college dropout, but you have like 10 degrees. So I don't, how did that work out?
Well, I dropped out after 2 years. So I went in as a 17-year-old, as a language arts major, and then somehow I tried out for a play, and I was cast in a play as an 80-year-old woman. I Can't Hear You When the Water's Running was the play. And at that point, the department chair of the program said, this is what you should be doing with your life. And if you told myself that I would be a business professor writing research-based books, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But here I am.
The same is true for me. If you told my 17-year-old self that I would be a law professor and a partner in a law firm, I'd say go pound sand. You know, what are you, crazy? It just kind of happens. From being a college dropout to then having all of these degrees, you then started teaching. Tell me a little bit about that transition.
Well, I was in the advertising and promotion industry, and then I moved into the education field in 1986. So prior to joining Diablo Valley College in 1990, I had taught at different universities and colleges, including Contra Costa College, which is our sister school, College of San Mateo, National University, Cal State East Bay.
And now you're the business department chair.
Right, yes. Now I am a business professor here.
So let's switch gears a little bit. You're an expert in advertising and marketing communications. What are the keys to a successful advertising campaign?
That's a great question. Creativity, probably not surprising to you, is at the heart of any great advertising. And there was a great Forbes piece that actually highlighted all of the ingredients that go into any effective ad campaign. It must be meaningful, inspirational, and powerful, and it should resonate with the target audience. It should be believable and credible. It should be inspired by consumer insights. It should increase brand loyalty and goodwill among consumers. And I like to add, it should create brand differentiation.
What do you mean by brand differentiation?
Well, a lot of products can look alike, these look-alike products, which we call brand parity. So there's not much that differentiates one brand to the next. They can almost feel like commodities. The marketer's job is to make their product stand out in the marketplace. And you do that through product differentiation. What is it about your product that makes it unique and satisfies a consumer need or want differently than your competitors' products? I have to say, really, some of the top advertising is sneaker advertising. Nike does brilliant advertising. There's a great database called the Ads of the World, and any of the students watching now, marketing students or any of the professionals interested, can see the best advertising right there.
So how has the advertising industry changed over time?
The biggest change that we've seen in advertising in the past decade has been the growth in digital advertising that is created and delivered on digital platforms. So just think of social media, email, mobile apps, and so on. I think that the challenge is for many marketers or advertisers is to make very efficient use of the tools at their disposal, all of these digital tools. And I think that this relies on effective content marketing. And I think many companies and several industries are getting it right.
What advice would you give to a student or somebody looking at getting a career in advertising?
Yeah, the best things to do if you're thinking about getting a career in advertising is to take courses in marketing or advertising, get a degree in marketing or advertising, do an internship in marketing advertising, and finally, consume ads. It means that you watch, read, and listen to all types of content.
Martha, you wrote an amazing book, Made Up: How the Beauty Industry Manipulates Consumers, Preys on Women's Insecurities, and Promotes Unattainable Beauty Standards. I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about how the beauty industry is promoting unattainable standards.
So Made Up takes a hard look at the multi-billion-dollar beauty industry that props up unrealistic beauty standards, perpetuates gender stereotyping, and promotes cosmetic enhancements to fulfill a growing cultural obsession with appearance and image. So that's what the book is about, right there.
Why did you decide to focus on the beauty industry?
The reason why I focus on the beauty industry is my preliminary research on gender representation in advertising took me in a direction where I discovered that many advertisers, not just the beauty companies, had not eliminated these gender stereotypes in advertising. And I wanted to know why this persisted, because not only is there gender stereotyping, potentially damaging gender stereotypes in ads, but also there are objectifying ads that use women as decorative props. And I wanted to find out why all these years we haven't come as far as we should have. It begs the shape versus mirror role that advertising plays in society. Is advertising just mirroring certain cultural expectations, or are they actually shaping those expectations? And I think it probably is both.
So you also say in your book, if you can't say it, don't wear it.
Right. In the context of cosmetic products, when women go out and we purchase products, most of us see the ingredients labels and they're very hard to decipher. I mean, unless you're a cosmetic chemist or scientist, ingredients in technical language just look like a string of gibberish. So, and a renowned epidemiologist came up with this recommendation. If you can't say it, don't wear it.
I think you see that a lot in foods as well, right? So, you want simple ingredients. I think Breyers did a whole campaign about, milk, sugar, vanilla, and that's it. How much weight does advertising and marketing have on the American psyche that they get to dictate beauty?
That's a great question. I mean, advertising commonly reinforces or shows gender norms and relationships through social cues. And some are subtle and some are overt, but they almost always leave a residual impact when we're exposed repeatedly to advertising messages. Advertising really is a looking glass. Oftentimes we'll see the stereotype of the sex pop, right? So where does that come from? Was that already part of the culture, and now the media or advertising is basically using that particular women as being valued for their looks? And we know that that is called the feminine beauty ideal. So that particular trait women are valued for and that beauty is equated with success and happiness. And now what does the media do? It's reinforce those values in their content.
One of the things that is throughout your book and all of your research is how the advertising industry in particular are stereotyping women that kind of is self-perpetuating, because then it continues in other industries.
The question is, are gender stereotypes made or born? And I'm going to say they're made. Many years now, gender stereotypes have persisted. You know, the dutiful wife, the wife is the caretaker, the man is the breadwinner, the man is the powerful figure. We see these particular, you may even look at them, they're stereotypes, they're not really archetypes, but I think it is sort of a way of defining gender roles and the roles that we should play in society. For a long time, that has been the case. Do you remember the Donna Reed show in the 1950s? You're too young for that, right?
A little, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It was the 1950s, and you had your television mom with her perma-press smile, and she had the little apron with the ruffles and the pearls, and she was always the caretaker. And then that is a stereotype. And what does that communicate through TV screens at the time? This is how people should live. And oh, by the way, buy our products at the same time.
What is the strongest method at a woman's disposal to not be manipulated or preyed upon by the advertising industry?
Women should not buy into the thin ideal. I mean, the thin ideal is the ultra slender, thin body image. In its extreme form, the thin ideal is an unhealthy aspiration.
So is that something that you want to see move forward? More diverse type of woman represented?
Yes, and Dove actually started it all with their path-breaking campaign, the Real Beauty campaign, and other beauty advertisers followed. But what you're saying is extremely important. I think it's important for them to speak to us honestly and authentically in their messaging. And if they do those things, I will back off as a writer.
But it's spearheaded by the consumer, because if the consumer says, I want more diversity, not only in body type, but in appearance, then they will change it.
Right. Consumers vote with their feet. We are seeing more of a representation of what women's everyday realities are like now, and more relatable images and ads. It does show that the needle is moving. It's not moving far enough.
So where would you like to see the fashion industry in 5 years?
The beauty industry really is overdue a makeover for strengthening cosmetic product regulations, for upholding truth and advertising standards. And I really feel that for advertising standards for beauty ads, and I think that, and if they don't make a real effort, then there's a strong possibility that the government might get involved, but that's yet to be determined.
What is the best career advice you've ever received?
Success in business takes resourcefulness, resilience, discipline, and hard work. There are no shortcuts.
Amazing. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
It was a real pleasure. Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us on another episode of An Entrepreneur in You. We'll see you next time.